Zijn we politiek bevooroordeeld over huidstint? In media en politiek zijn voorbeelden te vinden van opzettelijk donkerder maken van iemands huidtint om deze persoon ongunstiger te doen lijken. In 1994 heeft Time Magazine O.J. Simpson bewerkt. Hillary Clintons campagne tegen Obama was ook niet helemaal zuiver. Canadese Nicole Mead heeft met 2 Amerikaanse collega's hierover een onderzoek opgezet in de presidentscampagne van Barack Obama.
My colleagues and I were interested in knowing whether political partisanship, so identifying with a particular candidate or a political group, would change the way that people visually represent the leader of the group. And so we know, based on quite a bit of research in social psychology, that people don't objectively see the world as it is. So we have these lenses or these colored glasses, depending on our motivations, our emotions, our beliefs and intentions, that guide the way that we view and represent our social world. And these have a strong impact on our judgments, our later perceptual judgments. So we asked whether political partisanship, so identifying with a particular group, would change the way that people would see an ambiguously racial candidate. Because we know that where we can get this most of the flexibility and the change in social judgments, depending on our motivational state, is when a target is ambiguous. And so Barack Obama is an ambiguously racial candidate. And so what we hypothesized is that participants who were motivated to see Barack Obama as American, and they saw him as an in-group, that they were motivated to see him in this very positive manner. And there's a long-standing tradition, in particular in Western society, of equating white with good. So what we hypothesize is that these liberal candidates would be motivated to see him in a positive manner, so they'd represent him as lighter than he actually is, whereas participants who are people who don't identify with Barack Obama, they don't see him as an in-group member, they see him as an out-group member because they're conservative, that they would be motivated to see him as darker than he actually was. So what we did is we gathered photos of Barack Obama in different poses, so some from the campaign trail, some more from the Associated Press, some from debates, and we digitally altered them to make a lighter version of each photo and a darker version of each photo. Now, we expected, because we are making our predictions based on political partisanship, so whether participants were liberal or whether they were conservative, that ethnic background shouldn't matter. So this would be based on group membership, being a liberal or conservative. So liberals had a tendency to perceive Barack Obama as lighter than he actually was. So they tended to rate photos that were artificially lightened as most representative of who he really is, as compared to darkened photos. And conservatives, so those whose partisanship does not match Barack Obama, they tended to see him as darker than he actually was, suggesting that people will lighten the skin tone of those with whom they agree and darken the skin tone of those with whom they disagree. What we found is that the degree to which people will lighten, or did lighten, Barack Obama's skin tone in their mind, that predicted their voting intentions, and it also predicted their voting behavior in the actual election. And this is even while controlling for very well-known predictors of voting behavior, such as political partisanship, as well as racial attitudes. And so what our research results suggest is that people have these unconscious, very powerful associations which will influence the way that they see the candidates themselves, and that those will guide our decisions at a level that we are not even recognized, that we don't actually recognize, and that they guide our decisions without us knowing it.